Hello students, how are you? I hope you all are fine and safe at your home. Now students, I am going to teach you chapter number 7, preservation of our heritage. Students, so far we have learned about different heritage in the sixth chapter and the fifth chapter also, that Dholavira, Lothal, churches of Goa, Champaner, Red Fort, Fatehpur Sikri, Hampi, Qutub Minar, temples of Khajuraho, Mahabalipuram, Sun Temple of Konark. Now, in this chapter, students, you are going to study about preservation of our valuable heritage. India has a unique place in the world. There has been remarkable contribution of India in the field of knowledge, science, religion, culture, and art. India was considered as golden sparrow in the ancient period of time. India has a rich and immutable heritage. Our heritage shows an imperial dignity of ancient India. That is why we should be committed towards the preservation, conservation of heritage, which is utmost means important demand of the present time. So we have to preserve our heritage and we have to pass our heritage to our next generation. Need for the preservation of cultural heritage. The heritage of India is a multifarious, which brings glory to the nation, that gives the pride to the nation. Culture heritage accommodates sculpture, means it includes sculpture, architecture, literature, and various arts and natural heritage that you have already studied. Natural and man-made factors are adversely affecting our heritage. Human being also responsible for damaging and deteriorating our cultural heritage as well as natural factors also. Hence, its preservation is most important thing. Our heritage glorifies the people of our country so they respect our heritage by associating it with their identity. Therefore, it is very necessary to develop positive attitude towards its management. We should preserve vanishing arts, architecture, so that upcoming generation can be inspired by the work done by our youngsters, means forefathers. Okay, we have to preserve our heritage. It is our duty, as we are not much aware about the preservation of our heritage. Awareness is not there. Our negligence is chiefly responsible for the degradation. Our knowledge, lack of knowledge, is chiefly mainly responsible for its degradation. Therefore, it becomes very necessary to conserve and preserve our heritage. Necessities of preservation of the culture heritage. Our heritage, that the identity of the nation. Qutub Minar, Taj Mahal, caves of Ajanta, Ellora, everything that is important. Our country, the country which ignores it, does not have any future. As heritage is our guide, it is our moral duty to protect it. The errors we committed in the past can be rectified in the present and we can properly plan for the future. Whichever error committed in the past, that can be rectified, sudharna, in the present, and we can properly plan for the future. Heritage act as a guide to decide the direction of our development. Heritage is a necessary for the transmission of the new consciousness across the country. It's a guide to decide the direction for the development. It is very important. Our youngsters, our forefather had given to us. So it is the moral duty of upcoming generation to pass on to the next generation. It is necessary to bring awareness among the people regarding the damage done to the places of cultural and natural heritage. Awareness should be creating to the people that it is important to save natural heritage also and cultural heritage also. Not only the government but also the common public should play most important role for the protection of our heritage. Greater damage has been done to our heritage because of the invasion of the foreign tribes. The foreigners that came to India, that person damaged our heritage, our unawareness or ignorance. So it is moral duty of the government as well as the common public to conserve and preserve our heritage. Now, tourism industry and our heritage. Various sites of natural cultural heritage of India have been accommodated in the list of the world heritage by UNESCO. Students, you know that various sites of the nature like Taj Mahal, Qutub Minar and everything. Many people from the other country that visit in India to see, to explore means discover, do research and our heritage from India and the other countries. This boost our tourism. Tourism industry flourished because of this, and transportation industries also. Along with the economic benefits to the concerned state, tourism industry provide appropriate opportunity and proper platform to showcase our multifarious cultural arts and tradition in front of the world. So once the tourism industry developed, economic benefits, people started earning because of this. It's give the platform to showcase our multifarious cultural arts and tradition in front of the world. Taj Mahal considered as one of the seven wonders of the world. So many people from the other country came to India, and due to this, our tourism industry that developed. Apart from the tourism, also provides employment to the local people. It gives the employment. Employment means because of the tourism industries, many people, those who are living over there, started earning their income. This keeps the vanishing art and tradition alive. No, nowadays, tourism as a subject has been added in the field of education, which is eventually promoting tourism guide as an independent business. India earn when any foreigner come to India and to see our cultural heritage. India started earning foreign currency from the foreigners, visitors, introducing a heterogeneous culture. Heterogeneous means different. Heterogeneous means different culture. It enlightened the talent of our country at the international level. Facilities like metal road, Pakka road, railways, water, communication, etc. develop around the site of the heritage. So that particular area develop. Tourism encourage activities like photography, horse riding, boating. Simultaneously provide employment to the local people and street hawkers. Varied culture, different culture, indigenous art, their features have got an important platform for the development. So because of our valuable culture heritage, tourism industries also develop. Many people from the other country that come to India to visit to see our valuable heritage, and tourism industry develop. Now preservation of heritage and measures to conserve it. Efforts made for the preservation and conservation of heritage are given below. Indian government has constituted the Indian Board of Wildlife. Students, remember the year 1952 to protect our wildlife. It facilitates with the material of conservation of the wildlife. Clear? The Indian Board of Wildlife in 1952 established for the protection of the wildlife. It suggests the government for the development of national park, bird sanctuaries and geological garden along with the task of creating awareness for the protection of the wildlife. Students, I have already taught you in the chapter number 9 that the wildlife, national park, bird sanctuary, geological garden that established for the protection of the wildlife. Wildlife Protection Act enacted in 1972 gave the firm status to national park, sanctuary and bioreserves. Students, that I have already taught you 9th standard. New national park, wildlife sanctuary, bioreserves have been established by the government for the protection of the wildlife. The laws of our country for the preservation of our heritage have a widely perspective, means a strict law enacted by the government of India for the protection of our heritage. Strict laws have been framed to stop the destruction of and vanishing vegetation and wildlife. Apart from government, there are several societies also, NGOs also, organizations which have been actively taking up the task of protection of wildlife and environment. Students, you underline this. The Bombay Natural History Society is the oldest one of its kind and was established in the year 1883. Presently, Gir Foundation, Natural Club, institutions are doing noble work of environmental preservation. So many NGOs or non-government organization also came forward for the protection of the wildlife and the natural heritage. Realizing the importance of the preservation of our heritage, constitutional framers made it mandatory that it should be included in our constitution. Now, ancient memorial and archaeological sites and Remain Act. Archaeological sites, archaeological department that dig out the land to find out the civilization, example of this Mohenjo-daro and Harappa civilization. The more dangerous and harmful factors arose in the way of heritage, the more strict action and efforts were made time to time for the preservation. Harmful factors, human beings also, natural also, they came across to damaging the heritage. So strict action should be taken by the government for the protection of the heritage. Hence, various protective measures have been taken for safeguard of our heritage. Ancient monuments, archaeological sites and Remains Act was enacted in the year 1958. Students, you have to remember, Ancient Monuments and Archaeological Sites Remains Act in 1958. This act suggests that preservation of our antique, means unique artistic work, religious places, means all the temples, historical memorials, red forts and all, and archaeological sites, preservation of everything. This archaeological act ensures that no person or agency can conduct archaeological excavation. What do you mean archaeological excavation, student? Archaeological excavation means digging of the land without prior permission of the government. No one can dig the land for the archaeological activities. This action consequently stop the clandestine excavation. Hence, many of our heritage sites are still preserved and keep intact. The Government of India declares some historical places as national monuments. Department of Archaeology is responsible to look after the preservation of these monuments. Means some historical places declared as a national monuments and that archaeological department should look after this. However, these heritage sites will not be preserved just by framing the law, but it is the moral duty and responsibility of every citizen. Department of Archaeology maintain the sites of the heritage which are either destroyed or on the verge of the extinction. It's maintain the sites which totally destroyed or verge of extinction, while taking up the work of the maintenance of the monuments, the monument that tore and whatever it may be, that's something that should be keep in the mind, that they should be preserved in such a manner so that it retains its original shape, size, condition as it is. Okay, it should be proper. Department of the Archaeological Survey of India, ASI, has more than 5,000 monuments and sites under its protection. How many monuments? 5,000 monuments and sites. Sangameshwar Temple and Papanasham temples in Andhra Pradesh were going to be submerged into the sea due to construction of Nagarjuna Sagar multi-purpose project. Students, I have taught you in 11th chapter. So this temple shifted to Alampur at Mahmudnagar district of the Andhra Pradesh. Taj Mahal of Agra is one of the 7 wonders of the world. Air pollution caused by Mathura oil refinery, fast growing nearby industry, change the white marble into pale. Pale means yellowish color and dull. So Department of the Archaeology took suitable steps to close the industries that spreading the air pollution in its neighborhood nearby the Taj Mahal. Regular cleaning of the structure has brought back the brightness of the Taj Mahal. So nearby the industry should close down. It should be away from the Taj Mahal. Okay, so the marble of the Taj Mahal should not pale and dull. Regular cleaning of the structure has brought back the brightness of the Taj Mahal.